Hey everybody, welcome to Camel City Chat. I'm John McPherson and I am here with Kimberly Cain, owner, proprietor, chief, everything here. Mm-hmm. You sure?
Yeah.
So let's get started.
It's me.
Yeah.
I'm the show.
I have a list of things to
Okay.
ask you actually.
Okay.
You are the oldest of 3 children, right?
My sister would say that.
Your sister Jill, who I know, says
Yes.
you are the oldest.
Oh,
So you're the baby.
I'm the baby.
And so I'm going to Brady Bunch you here. So
Okay.
you lost your mom. I apologize. Several years back, about 20 some odd years. Your dad meets a widow in Clemens, and you like 3 boys married a lady with.
Yep.
I mean, 3 girls married a lady with 3 boys.
Yep. Our middle sister Pam is a nurse at Baptist, and subsequently, one of her coworkers lost her husband and thought that she'd be a great match for my dad, and they went out on a date. So they're married, and she has 3 boys. We have 3 girls, and we're the Bradys.
We're the Bradys. All right, so you ready? Here
Southern
we go.
Bradys, yeah.
Welcome to Camel City Chat.
Thank
We are
you.
live inside of STEM.
Yes.
We're going to talk about STEM. We're going to talk. Since your husband is off fishing, we'll just interview him over at Second Green one day.
Okay, that's fine.
I want to talk about your investment in downtown. All this stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay,
scary.
I'm ready.
But before we do that, we have some questions we have to always ask.
Okay.
Where are you from? Please do not say the professional football team. And how long have you been here?
I'm from Indiana, Pennsylvania, born and raised. Don't be confused with the state. I lived there 21 years, and then I moved here, and really met my husband within 6 months of moving here.
Right.
Met him at Burke Street Pub.
Okay. Now,
So-
this Burke Street?
Yes.
Okay.
On Burke.
Okay.
Yep. Met him
Because
there.
what it used to be, no, Burke Street, I'm thinking Chester's.
Yep.
But-
Nope. It was Burke
right,
Street Pub,
right.
and he took me out on a date the next night,
Wow.
and we've been together ever since. So we've been together over 20 years now.
And just guessing, you have like a 10-year-old named Reagan?
We have a 10-year-old daughter named Reagan. She acts like she's 25, but she goes to Our Lady of Mercy Catholic School, and she's in the 4th grade, and she has a week left, and I'll have a 5th grader.
I've got, at the end of the day, 9.5 days left for Laura.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Almost similar.
crazy.
Yes, crazy.
Yeah. So.
They say don't blink, and boy,
She'll be 8 in July.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. And your sister, we'll talk about her. So you got a sister that's a nurse,
Yep.
and then you got another sister who's
I always
not
joke.
yeah,
Jill, the oldest.
right? Who
We're
works
very
with
close.
Who works with some real estate agent.
Yes.
I've never heard of her. What's the lady's name?
Brooke Cashin and
That's right, Brooke
Associates
Cashin,
in
yeah.
Kernersville,
Yep.
affiliated with Alan Tate.
Yep.
And Jill is the oldest. Pam is the middle child. She is a nurse. She's been a nurse for well over 20 years. She's in orthopedics. And then I am the youngest. I'll have a birthday in July, so
Okay.
I'm still 41.
Right.
Yeah.
So interestingly, there are 2 nurses in the family.
Yes.
I'm loving this thing. You're like ready to punch me, aren't you?
yeah.
Throw a punch. Go ahead and expose it.
Yeah.
So you're from there. Huge Cleveland Brown fans, right? No, go ahead. No, you're huge
I love
Steelers fans,
them.
right?
Yeah. Huge Steelers fans.
My brother would love you guys.
My mom was a coal miner's daughter,
Oh.
and my grandma just turned 100. We just went up to celebrate her birthday.
Great pictures on Facebook.
And she's Stella, and she still lives in her coal mining house, and my aunt helps take care of her. And yeah, so we grew up every Sunday. She would have a big meal, and we'd go down every Sunday, and we would watch. That was our entertainment. So we either watched the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Penguins, or the Steelers. And so that's what we did. And it was funny when I met my husband. I knew more about football than some of his friends,
Right.
and so he was like, oh man. And he was a football player himself. But yeah, grew up there, went and graduated and got my bachelor's of nursing at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, IUP, and moved here, subsequently moved in with Pam, and worked, the corporate aspect of nursing for a while, and left, did some inside sales, and then got back into my nursing, profile, and worked 13 years, I think it was, with organ donation. So I was at Miracles in Sight, so we did corneal and sclera transplants,
Right.
and worked very closely with their sister organization, which is Carolina Donor Services. They do full organs. We only did Cornell and Scalera, and we do a lot. We did a lot. I don't work there anymore. I mean, we're the number 3 iBank in the world. So a lot of even stuff for our troops, a lot of gratis stuff for any penetrating injury, that they may get in the field. So it's very rewarding. I loved what I did. This owning Second and Green, as we said before. John, my husband's in real estate, so he's his own broker, and it's just a small, tiny firm that he independently runs. And we have a daughter, and then this fell in our lap, and it was just time for me to go. But it's near and dear to my heart, and I always push organ donation because I love that, and losing a mom when I was 21. So it's something that I hold very dear.
So I'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Get screened for colon cancer.
Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
I did the 50-year-old one.
Okay.
That 53, they still found him, and they pushed me out 5 years, and I went to my PCP, and I said, I want to go back in 3 years.
Yeah.
Because if you found 5 at 53, how many are you going to find
Correct.
2 more years later?
Correct.
You just got to do it. And so,
Yeah.
in honor of your mom, go get screened.
Early detection is key for anything. So, I mean, this is the nurse coming out. It's so scary being in a profession where you see things, you kind of begin to be the hypochondriac. But regardless of what it is, early detection is key. Colonoscopies really aren't that bad. The prep is the worst, but it's 24 hours. And
I lose weight when I do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it every week if they let me.
I've been getting them now since I was like early 20s.
Right.
But I'm very thankful. And it's a lot of things that late 30s, early 40s, people are not doing unless there's a family history of colon cancer. If you have any digestive kind of issue, I would just highly recommend it. And really just all around the board, screenings, breast, men, they don't think they can get breast cancer, but they can. So skin cancer is a big, big one, especially in the Carolinas. We're in the sun constantly. The basal cell, it's very easily treatable. So they do free dermatology screenings at Wake Forest Dermatology over on Country Club, at least I think once or twice a year. So just reach out. All of that information is very easily accessible. Social media, on your phones, internet. So I'm a big advocate for that as well. So.
Well, and
Sorry.
No. That we can do the whole show about that because
No, right?
I think that's huge. Our neighbor across the street had melanoma and just recently Stabler mowed his yard yesterday because they called him and said, come on, and it just wouldn't heal, so they cut him. And of course, you being a fisher person as you are, they cut me. I said, well, did they leave the gills? And because he said they gutted me.
Yeah.
And so he's healing. He gets his stitches out today, but it's
serious. Melanoma is serious.
It's serious stuff.
Yeah. It's very serious. Yeah.
Well, talking about the iBank, because I know it's huge and stuff like that. So we have so Sarah used to work in real estate. Of course, she's now at the beach now, I guess.
Okay.
But then Mike Tramber and I graduated Winston-Salem State University MBA together.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know you worked with him.
Yeah,
right?
he was.
And I got 2 more people to ask you, but I would ask you on, I think I'll ask you off the air because I'm not for sure that they do it.
Okay.
Jeremiah's one and Rodney's the other one, but I don't know exactly what they do, so I'll ask you off the air on that, so I'm not embarrassing myself. So the first question is always, where you're from and how long you've been here, and of course you've been here like 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
So you moved here when you were 20?
I wasn't even 22.
Okay. Yeah.
22. I moved here. Yeah.
All right.
So 20.
So you moved to Winston-Salem when you're 21, and now you own 2 places that sell booze. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And I cannot wait.
Came from a party
I
school.
cannot wait to talk about the first one that you bought. So now, what is your favorite place to eat?
Oh gosh.
So now you can take them. The mayor's response that they're all good, but there's cool things going on downtown that are within walking distance of you if you want to hit that. But where do you like to eat?
John, that's really difficult. So clearly, the Cains like to eat. Even our poor dog, she's getting overweight, and I was like, she's a Cain, she's thick. But it's cute. We do Thai Sundays, so we always do Thai on Sundays.
At your house?
Well, we call it in, bring it. And that kind of started around COVID. Now it's just something we always do.
Where do you get it from?
Charcuterie, that's my favorite.
Okay.
But when John and I were dating, that's where we always used to go. He's the one who introduced me
Now,
to
where's
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie?
It's on Jonestown.
On Jonestown, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah.
But we used to call it Teeter Tie, the one, because there was a Harris Teeter right on Jonestown, and we'd go there and have lunch, and so we still go there.
But now there's the other Teeter Tie that is in.
That's Thai Swatati.
Right. So
yeah, so we do
but
that.
yeah, okay, yeah.
But
When you
not
said
outside
Teeter
of-
Tie, that's why I'm like, well, no, Charcuterie is a restaurant.
Yeah, no, I'm taking it way back.
Okay.
The original Teeter Tie was on Jonestown, but they're close.
Okay.
Yeah. That's hard because luckily, we're very blessed to know a lot of chefs in just Winston in general, downtown specifically, bar owners. It's nice. We're a family.
I'm gonna save you.
Okay.
You got an idea coming up in the future that we might touch on, and maybe you
Okay.
could say some of the chefs that you want to
Okay.
talk
Yeah,
to. How's
because
that?
I could.
Is that a good save?
Yeah, we go out a lot. I'm not going to say we don't do any like commercial, like franchise restaurants, but I really honestly don't really know the last time I ate at like an Olive Garden or, now my daughter really loves Chick-fil-A, I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah.
But we try and really just support local if we can.
Right.
So I may jump on the mayor's bandwagon and say all of them because it could be anything from now, 600 degrees. Travis, we're
Haven't
close
been
friends
there yet,
with
but
him.
it's awesome, isn't it?
It's amazing. We actually took our fish that we caught, our mahi that we caught for Mother's Day. We went fishing, a group of us, and we brought our fresh catch back, and Travis made us three different styles.
Was that before or after when we were here?
No, that's after.
Yeah, after, because you were telling me about it.
So so it was
Thanks.
fantastic. So
Appreciate
I
it.
guess that's something that they do offer. Sorry, Travis, I don't know if you do or not, but I'm throwing that out there because we dropped it off as soon as we got back, and the next day we had just 3 different horses. So I love
All right,
that stuff. Yeah.
we're gonna hear about it. All right, then this is an easier one.
Okay.
What do you like to do? So obviously it's gonna be centered around Reagan. So what do you guys like to do? So you like to fish, but around here, what do you like to do?
I'm an artsy person, so painting is therapeutic for me. So whether it be like canvas, I do have some prints that I like to do. Painting just at the house, like inside.
Did you do this?
I didn't. We had people, but I almost did.
Okay.
Anything outdoors. I love sports. So you can find us. We're a big sponsor for the Dash. We're a sponsor for the Carolina Thunderbirds. I love hockey. And again, growing up, that's what we did. So, we like to eat. And so sports, the wilderness, and we like to travel.
Right.
And I feel like that's something teaching Reagan that, everything's just not in a book. You go out and experience it. And I'm a very hands-on person. So I could sit and read. My professors always told me, Kim, I'm like a C, B+ student when it comes to like reading, but in clinicals and actually doing it, I'm A+ because, you could tell me all day how to give an IV, but it's not until you actually do it that I understood it. So it's almost like being a bartender. I don't know how to bartend, but once you teach me and I'm actually making the drinks, I can do it. So
Give me the ingredients, you hit it with a straw, that doesn't taste right. You're then, yeah, I cannot see you being artsy at all. Just twirling the meat together to make it look pretty. Holy cow. All
Food
right.
art, yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So iBank nurse, 10-year-old Reagan, John. Well, let's go ahead.
Okay.
So you're working one day.
Yeah.
Your husband and daughter are out hanging, driving around town. Husband's downtown, drives by this place and sees a guy loading up a pickup truck. Calls you a few minutes later and says, hey, I bought a bar. And you were so excited because you had a new bar in your basement. You're thinking of all the things you're going to do with your friends. And the statement was, what? No, honey, it has keys?
No, I was at the iBank.
Right.
And I was getting ready to leave. And, my car had surround sound. So here he called and he said, babe, guess what? I'm like, what? And he's like, I bought a bar. I was like, John, I was like, we have a bar. And he's like, no, I bought a bar. And I was like, I know, we have one. Like, we just got this like big poker table downstairs in the basement. I was like, I know, we don't have any room for another bar. And he's like, no, I bought Second and Green Tavern. And it was just silent, And I actually hung up on him. So Reagan was 9 months old at the time.
Right. In the car with him.
They were already there.
Yeah, no, he
But-
was in the car. Yeah, Reagan was in
So
the car with them.
I knew where he was,
Right.
and I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I drove straight to Second and Green. I knew where it was because his friend Alex lived in the Holly Street condos
Right.
behind him. So I knew he was telling me the truth. So it was just funny because we would go to Alex's, we'd pregame kind of there, and we'd walk by Second and Green. Mind you, this is before the West End Station Apartments, any of that development.
Holy cow.
So it was just
I know
a
that
chain
you
link.
hate all those people coming in right next to your bar.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Chain link fence. It was like this awful cement pad. And we'd walk by, and John always would say, he'd point it, he's like, I'm going to own that bar one day. And he said it to me multiple times. And I'm like, okay, like let's keep walking. And so I kind of giggled, but pulled in. It was him and a couple friends. I walked in, and Tim Parker, he owns Washington Park Barbershop, and Chris
Right.
Denny, he's the barber there now. Reagan was in the middle of the pool table, and they were rolling pool balls to her. And they looked at me, they're like, Kim, isn't this awesome? You know? And I said, I'll give it a year. You know, so I didn't squash it. And subsequently, I called Jill, and she was just beside herself. I mean, we're Polish. We like to
Right.
drink, you know. And I called my dad, and I said, you know, Dad, we bought a bar. And he's like, okay, Kimberly, you know, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to give it,
Pay for your umbrella policy.
you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're going to give it a year. He's like, okay. And, you know, I kind of got the stamp of approval from my father. So not that I need to, but it's just something.
Has he come down and had a drink there?
Oh,
yet?
yeah.
Oh, then we're done. Yeah. Come on.
And so.
Because the Steelers game
yeah,
been
it's
on
a-
it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was just funny. We had some investors come in and offered us, I mean, triple what we bought for it, you know, which was not much.
Right.
Like John. And
No, I
it-
think he said it on Facebook.
So,
how
well,
cheap
it was funny.
yeah.
John used to work for Verizon.
Right.
Early when I met him, he helped start Foothills, right? So he's good friends with Jamie and him and Scott Smith. And then he got a job in corporate Verizon. And because we were settling down, got married, you know, and that's where he was working when he had Reagan. But here, when he pulled in, saw the individuals taking everything out of the bar. And he pulled in and he was like, you know, where are you going? And they're like, we're closing. And unfortunately, one of the individuals was terminally ill.
Right.
And he just said, you know, we can't do it. And so my husband offered him money. And here, he was with Alex and Chris and at the time. And so they went to breakfast time just for breakfast. And here, his phone rang. And he said, are you serious? You know, are you serious about this deal? And John's like, how did you get my number? And he's like, you're my Verizon guy. You put your number in my phone as Verizon John. And so it kind of just full tilt, you know, here we are, going to be almost 10 years, it'll be 10 years in January. It's been 9 years so far. And it's been a blessing. It's definitely a watering hole, clean, I call it a clean dive bar. We have a very eclectic mix that come in. We have the older population that comes in early. We have the work, you know, crew that comes in right after the 5 o'clock rush. And then we have our bikers and we have our young hipsters. And, you know, a big motto is just respect. You respect us, we're going to respect you. And we do a lot of benefit rides and a lot of things that just support local. And I'm proud to say that when we, you know, purchased Second and Green, that at the time there was a little turmoil going around where some employees couldn't go to other bars, you know. And once we kind of got on board, you know, it's a downtown. You can't have a downtown with one bar. You know, you can't have a bread aisle in the grocery store with one bread, you know. So it's nice that we're all together. We have, it's called NCBOA, it's North Carolina Bar Owners Association, and Tiffany Howe that owns Burke Street and Daniel Bull who owns Bull's Tavern are big advocates, you know, that we really realized that with COVID we didn't have a voice.
You're a community, you're a fraternity, and guess what? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Camel City Chat. Hey everybody, welcome back to Camel City Chat. I'm John McPherson and I am here with Kimberly Cain. Of STEM and Second and Green.
Yep.
And Reagan's mom.
And Reagan's mom.
Yeah. I'm not going to say John's wife.
John's wife.
No. He's your husband.
Yeah.
We know who the boss is. All right. So we're talking about the downtown and you know, before we had to go to break and you're talking about, you know, everybody kind of COVID created a community, didn't it? With like people doing things like, hey, let's raise money for restaurant and bar workers and things like that. I remember we did, the Brown Water Society had fundraiser to try and give Al some money or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and you guys do stuff all the time with supporting local, with the Dash and the Thunderbirds, but also you do stuff for, as you were saying, rides and stuff like that. Why be involved? Why downtown and why be involved? Why have you guys invested like that?
Why do it if you don't?
I know the answer.
You know,
I want you to say it, you know?
Well, you know, we just did a Parkinson's walk for one of our members at Second and Green on Sunday who was recently diagnosed. And I think that's the fun thing. A lot of people ask me, it's a good question. A lot of people ask me, when I left my, quote, career.
Right.
They're like, you're leaving your career to be a bar owner and put together fruit trays, you know? They're like, and I was like, well, it's a little bit more than that. Were you in the parking lot
with Reagan and called John and go, hey, guess what? I bought a charcuterie place?
No,
okay.
but you know, that's why we're in this. And John and I were I love knowing people. I love hearing their stories. And I guess from some of my experiences, we grew up very similar, and coming from big families and losing loved ones at an early age, working in organ donation, where, you know, every day, no matter how bad my day is, John would call sometimes and he was frustrated. And, you know, and I was like, well, I'm working up a mom that was in a car accident and lost her 3 children. You know, it's like seeing, like yesterday, the school shooting. And, you know, I mean, it's just, you realize how blessed you are.
Right.
And then you step into a role where someone comes in to get a drink because they're celebrating. And you step into a role where someone comes in because they're grabbing a drink because they lost their spouse. And you hear that, and then you listen and you comfort, and then they come back in, and you know, you become family. And during COVID, it was neat because a lot of people were so worried, and you know, COVID, they put a lot of negativity on bars, really not so much on restaurants. And I mean, I don't that doesn't bother me, but it was cute because we know our family at Second Green so well, you know, that if we didn't see Miss Betsy in, you know, 3 days, you're calling, like, where are you? What's going on? You know, are you sick? So Mr. Pete, he's our oldest member right now. I believe he's 87. He comes in, and that's why we still have some tables at Second and Green for him, because he can't sit in the high tops. He was here for my grand opening at STEM Beverage and Supply, and that's why these chairs were up here, because he sat right here, and he made sure he was here to celebrate a milestone. So it's very special. Knowing your bar owners, knowing the restaurants, I try and support, because it's so important to grow a downtown, grow the community, and support the community. So it's so multifaceted. When you mentioned us, you know, purchasing this, we had an opportunity a year prior to COVID. It was in 2019, and it was at the barbershop, is where Tim is one who told John, like, hey, Richard Brewer might be selling corks, caps, and taps. Are you interested? You know, and John's light bulb goes off constantly. You know, he would own like 15 businesses if he could. If I had like,
he's
we'd
like,
have to.
He wants to be Adam. I mean, Adam's like, you know,
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't understand.
But he's great. He's great at everything he does.
It's like you turn around. Oh, well, there's John. And what's John? What? You know, where is he now?
I mean, so yeah. So you know, at the time I said absolutely no. Like, no, we already brought Second and Green on the whim. Like, no, we don't need another business. Second and Green, I mean, it's full tilt. I'm working, you know, 40 plus hours a week. We have a kid. He's in real estate. Too much. COVID happened, and, you know, there's some positives of COVID. There's some negatives of COVID, tons of negatives. But honestly, COVID brought us together. I couldn't tell you the last time, because we're so busy, that I couldn't tell you the last time we actually grilled out on the deck. We have a grill, nice patio furniture. We weren't ever out there, and it forced us to be back home as a family together, and it brought us closer together. And I kind of missed that when we started. I mean, I worked the whole time because I was in healthcare, but you know, once we started to get back to normal, it was July, and Richard called again. He was like, you know, is your first offer, is this a stand? And I was like, let's do it. And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, let's do it. He's like, this is you this time, saying like, let's do it, you know.
You're in the driveway.
And so we did it. And here we are. You know, it's going to be 2 years since we've purchased this July.
And the first year was?
A year and a half. It was last February that actually restrictions opened for us, you know. And so I didn't want to sink a ton of money into an establishment where I didn't know. I mean, 2 weeks turned into 2 years. So we're not rich. I mean, so everything we had to budget really closely. We didn't do any Kickstarter campaigns. We didn't, so it was a struggle with no income coming in to try and do this. And that's why, I mean, it's like my little baby now. It means a lot to me. But it's neat to sit here and see it in person. Doing this interview, Camel City Chat, I can't imagine this 2 years ago, which is really, really cool.
Well, I tell you, it's cool for me because, I don't know you as well, but I know your sister. And by loving your sister, because she's just an awesome lady, I love you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so you were kind enough to be a spot for an event that we had for the realtors. And, you walk in the door and there's this monstrosity of, the pantry chefs. See, you like that? It's amazing what Wikipedia will tell you.
Yeah.
But the pantry chef has laid out these meats and cheeses and figs and all this kind of stuff out. And the window's open, and so the screen's open. And John, isn't here yet, but he parks out front, and then he's readjusting the window to make sure everything's right. And we've got people in here. And then at the back, you on a whim go, hey, I'm going to buy a pizza cooker. And then you talk to some people and say, hey, and are you still doing that? Okay. So then I could say, so you talk to Katrina Ford and they go, oh, here's some pizzas, try it out. And, again, all this friendship and love in downtown Winston. And so, one of the things I'm going to talk to you about today when we're done is I want to have a team thing here. Come at lunchtime when you're closed or whatever, if it works for you, and have like a charcuterie board class. And you do that stuff. Yeah,
we do classes here. We do luncheons. It's really up to the individual, the business. I really want this space. Second and Green is, an eclectic, clean dive bar where we've always served food, whether it be a grill outside. John's constantly doing hot dogs, and it's the neighborhood place to be. I mean, that's our motto.
And unfortunately, they built those apartments all around
us.
So no one comes in there.
So we're gonna have 3.
How's that going to change? How much has that changed your business?
We do get a lot of traffic.
Right.
So far for the positive, which is excellent. We're lucky here at STEM. A Link's going in 2 blocks away.
Right. In the old Journal Sentinel parking lot.
Yep, right in front of used to be GMAC building. It's now 500 West. So I want STEM to be similar. I want people to walk in here. Now, the aesthetics of the building are nicer than Second and Green, but it's new. We walked into Second and Green and we put a fresh coat of paint on the wall, and we haven't moved. We bought his uncle built us a table. We bought some chairs and stuff, but we still have members that can, only sit in certain places. So that's, we haven't touched it. This we got to start from scratch, and honestly, when we purchased this, we weren't going to do all of this, demo and redecorating. It just was a rabbit hole. Like once we started, plumbing had to be all redone. We didn't have enough electric, so we had to upfit that. And then we met Andrew Graven in Greensboro. He's excellent. If you ever sit in these chairs, you're going to love them. He curated everything really in here with my vision, and it worked out beautifully, I feel. But I want this to be a spot and an event space that you can come. I don't charge for this space. The grazers I do, but again, I'm Polish. I grew up grazing. So,
well, and I will get you in trouble here.
Yeah.
There's going to be a fee associated with anything you do, but if you order a piece of pie in the restaurant, you'd assume it comes with whipped cream on top of it.
Yeah.
You're going to bring out the whipped cream. You're going to put the cherry on top of it. Is that enough? Do I need to bring you some more? You just like, well, that's what eat, and it goes back to grandma. Yeah.
Yep. My goal is to have pierogies here in that Turbo Chef, and really in the incorporate. So charcuterie kind of took off during COVID.
Right.
So I used to do it again. Polish, growing up in the kitchen. During every holiday, the women are always in the kitchen, and we feed. I mean, I will feed you. If you come here, I'm normally feeding somebody. But we're a private bar. We're allowed to do that. So we went through the whole health department. We are still a private bar.
Right.
With COVID, again, bars couldn't open because we were not restaurants. So if you notice any new establishment focused on bars, they're going to have a little mini kitchen. And I know
Right.
Eastern Standard is one that just opened at relatively the same time frame. They have like a mini kitchen as well, just in case we go in or have another, I hope we don't, global pandemic. And,
Right.
you know, the restrictions are the same. We will still be able to, you know, stay up and running. But
And are those windows that way because of the fact that if we have like a parade or something, that you can sell drinks out that windows at one point?
well, we have screens in them right now. We had to take out the whole storefront. It was just really dated.
You know,
I-
while I'm getting the best, you know,
Yeah.
I get this look here. So, I mean, you've had a couple ladies stop and look up at the sign and look and see if you're
Uh-huh.
open. So, I mean, you're getting good, you know, walking traffic.
Yep.
I mean, we're like, what, almost, we're not even noon yet on a Wednesday. So,
Yep.
But now you also have the back door too.
We do.
Do you utilize that or no?
Not as much yet. Bookmarks is out back. They get tons of traffic. It's a great library. There's Footnote. We're surrounded by awesome, Yama's is next to us, awesome, you know, businesses. Just right now, and again, we're not investors we don't have investors. It's just John and Kimberly Cain.
Right.
So everything when you buy a business, I'm sure everyone knows, it's so expensive. So unfortunately, and I just saw Eastern Standard had this occur to them. They had patio furniture out front and planters, and someone came and completely demolished it. So I was going to put tables out front, but again, they're so expensive. But I think we're going to get, hopefully, Andrew to come back and do like a bench seating where someone just can't physically come and pick it up and leave. So that is going to come in the future, and tables out back. It's just, it's coming. But yeah, the storefront opens, and Heidi next door at Foothills is on her agenda.
She's all right.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's all right.
She
She doesn't know that I'm going to have her on the show.
Oh,
soon.
okay.
Yeah, no,
Well,
yeah,
she has
I'm going to
some-
walk down there actually after this and see
Okay.
if she's there and go, hey, you know, we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, she has some fun things in the pipeline.
I got the
for
guys
4th
from
Street
Incendiary
again.
I think I'm going to have on here
Okay,
soon.
yeah.
I may do that. I'm going to try and get them maybe out the Louisville location since everybody
Okay.
knows the coal pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, this is fun for me. I get to meet people
Yeah,
like
it's-
you and get to know you
thank
better
you.
and stuff and learn about, you know, he bought a bar, which is hilarious.
Yeah, you bought a bar.
But
You sure
now,
did.
you know, I want to hear about the pierogies because, you know,
Okay.
one of the jokes that I said when I came in was, is, you know, like when you and your sisters get together and make pierogies with the nieces, and you kind of like cocked your head at me like just went with it like I would know that, but you know, so you have your grandmother's recipe and you guys make pierogies. When is that, and where do I need to be?
We try and do them definitely every Christmas and Easter, and then sometimes we'll throw them in around Thanksgiving. Yeah, but it's cute though, because Grandma, you know, when we first tried to get the recipe, you know, she just said, well, you do it until it feels right and tastes right. But I'm like, well, Grandma, we don't know that, you know. So, but she's been
Cough it
doing
up,
it.
lady.
Yeah,
Right,
come on.
yeah.
So we basically have it perfected, and this year now that the girls are getting older, so my sister has 3 children. William he's 16, so he was kind of too cool to do it. But Claire is 14, Emmy is 13, Reagan is 10, and they were in the kitchen with us making homemade pierogies, and so it was really special.
That's what you need to try and get
So-
Texas Pete to let you use the test kitchen
I know,
for.
yes.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, and then fire them up in
And
the
you'd
Turbo
make,
Chef.
oh my God, you'd make so many of
Yeah.
them.
Oh, I don't want to give the secret up, but it's coming. So
Okay.
STEM Beverage and Supply has some things in our pipeline.
All right, so let's see. Bought the bar, Steelers, Polish. Jill says you're the oldest. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Steven, how much time we got? So we're going to take a break here in just
Okay.
a second. But the reason why I asked about the investing in downtown I mean, it's truly, people don't realize, I mean, this is your blood, sweat, tears, your livelihood, everything. And you'd mentioned that about the taking the tables and stuff. Look at Robert Wiley, you know, over at the Clemens Pizzeria, where somebody just threw you know, and I mean, people don't realize you're not harming some corporation, and
Yeah, we're just 2 individuals, and you know, a lot of people don't understand that in this type of environment, we don't work standard hours. You know, we have very non-traditional schedules, and real estate agents are the same.
I want to ask you that question, okay? Because I want to
Okay.
ask when you work. So
Okay.
let's take a break now. We will take the break. So that's our question.
right.
We'll come back,
Okay.
talk about, so people understand. It's like, oh, well, they're successful, whatever. Yeah, you're successful because you don't open till 4, and you would have been here already whether or not we were interviewing you or not. Right.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back with more Camel City Chat and Kimberly Cain. Welcome back, everybody, to Camel City Chat.
Hi.
We're here with Miss Kimberly Cain. We've been talking about all kinds of cool things. And before we went to break, I wanted to talk. So you've got Second and Green and STEM.
Uh-huh.
All right. So Second and Green's hours are what?
Bartender gets there at 11 a.m.
Right.
And we close at 2 a.m. So they get out around 3:30 in the morning.
I got it memorized for the
Okay.
last question.
Okay.
My Uncle Webb was the guy that showed up in Alton, Illinois, would show up at the bar, and he would get a bowl of peanuts,
Uh-huh.
and he would get the, what is it? It's the Pabst Extra Light or whatever it is. It's like 70 calories or something like
know.
that. Yeah, and he'd get a can,
Yeah.
and he'd pour in that much into the glass, and then he would, because you got to leave it in the can so it stays cold.
Yeah.
And he would drink 1 or 2 beers, and then he'd come home every day.
Every day, yeah.
Yeah, and that was his social.
Uh-huh. We have
side
the
of things, yeah. And so you're 11 a.m. until when again?
2 a.m.
2 a.m. every day.
They get out around 3:15.
And so here is 4 till.
Right now, it's hard after COVID. Finding help has been a little bit more difficult. And since we're new, I have 3 staff right now, Victoria, Taylor, and Justin. And 4 o'clock, they'll get here. Tuesday through Thursday, it's like 5 o'clock until midnight. Foothills is closing at 12, so it's like we're further down on 4th Street that we'll stay open if we have guests here.
Right.
Friday and Saturday we open. Justin will be here at 3, and then Sundays 12 until 7. Mondays we're currently closed.
Right. And so you don't have it. Yeah, you got TVs here. So
Yeah.
we're not. I mean, is this now the Second and Green is like the official home of the Steelers games or whatever? And then
Yeah,
you
we
play,
are a registered Steelers bar.
Do you play the Cleveland stuff
Oh, we'll
here?
play anything you
I'm
want
just
here.
kidding.
I mean, honestly, but that's the nice thing about Second and Green is we're the eclectic mix. I mean,
Right.
we'll have whatever game. It's kind of first come, first serve. I think we have 6 TVs.
Right.
We do have the NFL package, which I know a lot of bars don't around here. So yeah, if you want to watch, and everyone gets along. That's a beautiful thing
know.
about it. And here, I mean, you
I'm
can
trying
watch.
to poke you on the
No,
Steelers,
I mean, I
yeah.
love it,
Right.
and that's what I love about it. Here, even though it's, I don't like to say
I'm
upscale
going to say it. It's
here.
a little bit more upscale
A
here.
little
than-
bit,
Yeah.
but again, STEM.
They're different purposes,
It's
though.
multifaceted. I
Right.
mean, we like to say sophisticated taste, easily made. STEM. But it is multifaceted here. We're stemming from philosophically. We're stemming from Second and Green. We're growing. It used to be a wine bar, so this used to be the science, technology, engineering, mathematics building back in I don't even know when.
Right. And
John's
so that's
mother
where
actually
STEM
took
came
classes
from.
here. Yeah, so that's where STEM came from. So here, going back around to working, and you never kind of stop. You constantly have staff that are calling. You constantly have customers that
When
are
do you
calling.
work? So today's
7 days
Wednesday.
a week.
So today's Wednesday. John's
He's deep sea fishing.
he's deep sea
Yeah.
fishing, which you are a competitor
I
in
am.
the.
I'm very competitive.
Yeah, I know. And so you're going to get ready to compete in the women's
Lady
what?
Angler, the Kelly
La-
Wagner Lady Angler tournament, and
And
that.
how have you done in that?
Good. So
Yeah.
this will be our 7th year fishing.
And how have you done in that?
Good. Haven't won.
Right.
I mean, we've had some good sized fish, but it's funny. We were just fishing and for Mother's Day, and one of the ladies on the boat, Kristen, she caught a 42-pound bull mahi. I mean, this thing was ginormous.
Right.
And when we look back to last year, it beat the men's. It would have won us $535,000 last year.
And so your husband competes in a tournament as well too, right?
The Big Rock tournament.
Right.
Yeah.
And he occasionally has beaten somebody that we're not going to say who.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, right. Michael
Yeah,
Jordan. Yeah.
We beat him.
Yeah. Yeah.
First year he weighed. He went to the scales with a marlin.
Yeah.
But it's neat. He's very nice. He docks his boat right by the boat that we take out. We take out on point Royal Brown. He's actually from around here.
Right.
But yeah, Jordan, he's been very, very nice. So
Yeah.
it's neat to see a celebrity, fishing the same tournament. But oh, I want to beat him again this year.
Yeah. So, interestingly, I just met Dr. J with Laura when we were in the Bahamas at a casino.
Okay.
Which is my transition from basketball player to casino to the Queen of Cherokee.
Oh gosh, yeah. I'm going this
You want to talk
Sunday.
about that? I've never been. I'm going in October.
Okay, it's fun.
You need to tell your husband it's a realtor convention. You can go for the realtor conventions in Cherokee.
When is this?
I'll give you the information
Okay.
offline.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a business expense for
Well,
him.
I thought you were going to bring up my Vegas thing when I won $25,000.
I didn't know that.
Bouncing quarters.
Bouncing quarters, okay. Yeah.
So my college years.
You like to gamble, huh?
I do love to gamble.
What's your favorite
But my
game?
grandma likes to gamble. Stella.
She is.
Yeah, she still goes.
She
They
is.
wheel her in her wheelchair.
No,
to
but
the,
she is. And
but
100, she's gambling every day.
Yeah,
So
Stella.
what? My dad's 97. He's gambling every day.
Yeah, I love it.
So what's your favorite game?
I do understand craps a little bit now.
Right.
Let It Ride used to be my favorite card game, actual table game.
Right.
They subsequently took it out, like before COVID, I believe. But I like the one slot machine Dragon Links, and I was very successful on that.
Okay.
For my birthday.
All right.
Yeah. So we are going. John's going to the NASCAR race this weekend, and I'm going to go to Cherokee with two of the staff. We're just going to have a girls' weekend, which I think is super fun. But I mean, that leads back into owning your own business, which I love, being on your own schedule, almost like a realtor. You set your schedule. We're constantly all over the place. So that's the only thing that kind of drives me bananas is the fact that, I don't have a 9 to 5 anymore, but it's so rewarding. And you do have that time where it's like, no, this weekend I am going to be gone.
You
but
can be there to pick up Reagan.
I'm always there to pick up Reagan. And, even though we're at the beach or we're somewhere, our phone's still ringing. I'm on that laptop. I'm still doing their payroll. I'm still doing the numbers. I'm still doing the ordering. But luckily we do have wonderful staff. They're family to us.
So how many? Okay, so you have 3 here.
I have
with
3
you.
here, and now we have 7 at Second and Green.
7 at Second and Green.
And that doesn't include Mr. Carson, who I think he went like 400, almost 500 days of not missing a day of work. And he comes in and he puts his touch of cleaning everything in the morning. He comes here, and he's just the most amazing man. So we do have a lot of people, back of the house, which no one knows. And then we have our family, so I love Winston. I love the downtown. I love, everyone that I've got to meet here, just having small events, in this intimate space. And I hope that continues. I hope that downtown flourishes, and we joke about the parking because the smart park has come into play.
Yeah, we joke about the parking, don't we? Yeah,
and,
sure. Thank you, by the way, for
They
that
came
help.
into Second and Green, and we have a grass lot in front of our parking lot. And a lot of guests were upset thinking that we put that in. It's not us. It's a downtown entity at this point. And if you do come to STEM Beverage Supply, we now pay monthly for our guests to park. You get a validation code at Second and Green, so you can come. You walk inside, you type in your license plate number, and you're good. If you visit STEM Beverage Supply, if you can snag a spot on the road, snag it. If it's after 5, you don't have to worry about putting your quarter in the meter. If you go up to the street, I don't know what that street is right there, but we have the first 2 rows. You validate, so you take a picture of your license plate, you walk down into our door. A lot of times when there's an event going on, you get taken away and you get sidetracked, but we do have a QR code that's for 4 hours of free parking. But I try and refer all guests and friends to park in the parking lot behind us. It's behind Foothills, Footnote, Bookmarks, and the steps lead directly into our back door, and you can park there for free. So I know it's a headache, and that's one thing that Heidi is so great.
Well, there's a deck down there, too.
There is a parking deck, and there's one right across the corner.
Well, I got bit, and you were very nice to help me out with that, because I just didn't know any better. Now, all right, so let's talk about first of all, how do I get in touch with you? Because we got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
I think we've kind of touched on where Winston-Salem is and where you see it going. I don't need to ask you that question. So I want to focus the last 5 minutes on charcuterie and how people can get involved and how people can come down and take a class and how all that kind of stuff. So tell me, what's STEM's website?
We're fixing that.
Okay.
Okay, so ignore the website right now. I literally just got it sent to me yesterday.
Right.
So it's going to be beautiful. But right now, look us up on Facebook. It's STEM Beverage and Supply. Instagram, again, STEM Beverage and Supply. You can message me on either of the platforms.
So Stabler has probably taken a picture behind the camera, showing you.
Okay.
And he's probably tagged STEM Beverage
Okay.
before we walk out of here, so you'll see that.
Perfect.
Right, too.
Okay.
So, yeah, but no, I mean, it's, hit the message and stuff like that. So we walk in the door, and there's this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful table, live edge, and it was filled with charcuterie. Where did you get the ideas to do this? Where do you see? I mean, you're looking at the piece of paper because you had paper out on it, I think. You're looking at the piece of paper and going, and then you make the artwork. So how do you? What are some things that people need to know?
I mean, I started it honestly during COVID.
Right.
Prior to COVID, I think I was leading into that before I kind of got sidetracked.
It probably was me.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I just did, and then people are like, Kim, you need to start selling these, and so we just kind of incorporated them into this establishment. I was having little minis in the fridge, but just the demand isn't there, and I hate to waste food. So right now, any grazer, you can contact me, message me. I like a 24-hour, 48-hour notice, just to go source stuff, get everything ready. We can have it in the fridge for you. You can walk in with a guest, sit down, and enjoy your grazer. But really, the website's going to have some information on it. But I hate to put a certain price on things for actually the table grazers because they're custom. I never want to say, most of them, I like to say almost $10 to $13 per person. That's the best way I can say that, because I've had brides, I've had, bride or baby showers here, and I don't want you to not come here because your budget is $200 for.
Again, I go with the.
So.
You may tell me it's peanuts, but suddenly it's mixed nuts the day of the thing because you found a deal and stuff like that.
Correct. So it's just contact me. We can work something out. And I know when I was getting married and when I was having my daughter, how difficult it was to have an event space that was clean, nice, and affordable. So
ask me where our baby shower was.
Where?
Foothills, baby.
Okay, yeah. We were at Bibbs.
Our friends had us at Foothills. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. We went to Bibbs in their room. It was called like the something boiler room or something in the back.
No, it had a different name to it. It's not the Piedmont room. It was something. I know what you're talking about.
So we had it there.
Yeah,
it's a great spot, but I mean, it was at a barbecue place. But I think the room rental fee was $600 for that. So so it is what it is.
So I want to bring my staff down here. So tell me about my corporate event that I'm going to have. So I've got, let's say I've got 10 or 15 people that I want to bring here. And can we do around lunchtime?
Yeah.
As long as you know ahead of time, right?
Yep.
And so we come in and I
have a table grazer for you.
Or do we make our own table grazer? Can we work for you in the sense of things if you show us how to do it?
Yeah. I mean, this space, even if you say, Kim, I want a quiet spot, I want to have lunch, work very close with Yamas and Foothills. You can go get Yamas and Foothills and come here and eat your lunch and discuss. Like, it's something you just have to contact me and reserve kind of the space time. I would love if you purchased a table grazer. I mean, that's what they've done.
Well, I want to, I mean, you saw what I'm doing on Facebook. You were very kind and made some comments. So what do you think of that 9x36?
It's fantastic.
Do we need to bring it in here?
We should.
We should. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
You need to order the thing, and I can burn you in some. We could.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk.
Okay.
All right. So, but can I have an event where we come and like I could make little. For my team, I can make little cutting boards for them in a sense.
Yeah.
And they can make table grazers.
I do classes.
Right.
So just follow, again, the social media outlet. June's really hectic, so I'm hoping to do one in July. I've done wine tastings where we have the table grazer and it's free. It's to come in and, get to know the wines that we're serving. Corporate event. You can say, Kim, I have a team of 15. I want to do a grazing class. That's not a problem.
We're going to put it on the calendar.
So really, whatever your idea is, whatever your, vision is, I can hopefully bring it to light or make something happen. So, really nothing's off limit. It's fun. Like, challenge me. Like,
Well, Kim,
yeah.
Kimberly,
Yeah.
all the above,
All the above.
sis, or
It's
whatever.
not bad.
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
All I will tell you is I'm so glad you took the time to meet with me today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I've known you for a while through your sister and stuff, but it's so nice to learn more about you.
Thank you.
And the love that you have of our town, and the love that you have of the downtown and stuff is to be commended. I think that you and John have really brought a light to Winston-Salem.
Thank you.
And,
We're very blessed.
you're very blessed.
Yeah.
I love that your daughter's seeing what hard work pays off.
She's a little entrepreneur.
I mean, I know she has her little section at the back here, right?
Yeah.
Does she sell drawings or something? What does she? No,
she might be selling. She makes little like s'mores boards.
All right,
It's
yep.
cute. Like depending, she'll sell like cakes. Well, Nana.
She has her own locker.
Yeah, she
with
has her own locker.
she has, like,
Her school supplies
school
are in there.
supplies are in her locker,
She does
yep.
a lot of her homework here if it's not at the tutor.
Yep.
She is Yama's. They know her.
Yep.
She's in their best customer.
I cannot
She's
thank
in their
you
daily.
enough.
So thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. It's been fun. And
So
Let
check
me
you out
know. Yeah.
online, Facebook, STEM Beverage Supply.
and supply. Yep.
Yep. And we'll be back next week with more Camel City Chat.